Well, welcome. We're here at NDIA with Dr. Camron Gorguinpour, and we're here to discuss Bending the Cost Curve PlugFest Plus. So, Dr. Gorguinpour, what is Bending the Cost Curve?
So, Bending the Cost Curve is an Air Force initiative established really by the Secretary and Chief of Staff earlier this year in 2014. The idea is that each generation of weapon system costs considerably more than the last, so much that the value of each dollar actually diminishes over time. And so we're tasked with going out and looking at innovative ways to affect that, to bend the cost curve back towards a more sustainable rate. And what makes Bending the Cost Curve unique as an initiative is that it's actually several different projects that are emerging over time, and each of these projects involves a pretty strong emphasis on collaboration with industry. And so it's those elements of looking at how do we reduce costs, how do we reduce cycle time, the development time to field critical systems for the warfighter, and how do we do those things in close discussion and collaboration with industry.
So it kind of reminds me of Norman Augustine's statement a few years ago about the defense budget buying one airplane if the curve continued. So it's important to bend it down and get more affordability and more capability. So what is this PlugFest Plus that we're doing?
So PlugFest Plus is an activity within Bending the Cost Curve. So it's one, like I said, of several projects that are emerging out of this effort. And the notion here is we've actually just taken two things that already exist and we're bringing them together into one activity. So the first being a PlugFest event. And a PlugFest is it's a specialized type of industry event. It's a forum for, in our case, for the government to put out to industry a certain need for capabilities. And it's really specific to what we call an open system architecture. So the type of system where people can plug in a product as long as it meets certain specifications, and those specifications are well known. So PlugFest events are collaborative industry events where companies big and small get together and they show the government what they can do to meet a certain need. And so these events have been going on for a few years and very successful, very well received, highly regarded. As we began to look at PlugFest as an opportunity for us to bend the cost curve, what we realized as a missing element was a contracting vehicle. So it's great to have vendors, a variety of vendors come and show what they can do. Very novel, very innovative. But at the end of the day, if you can't put those vendors on contract to actually get to work, well, you're missing something pretty important. And so we decided we were going to take that PlugFest concept and add to it one of the most agile contracting vehicles that we've found, at least within DoD. And then this is actually an Army construct. It's what they call an other transaction consortium. And another transaction is a type of contract that can be used for research and development types of activities, prototype development. And it operates outside of federal acquisition regulation. So it is intended, the authority is given to us by Congress specifically so we can go out and work with non-traditional defense contractors and draw in new business into the federal government. And the OT Consortia is a construct, again, that the Army has developed and have used it for more than a decade. And the premise is that Army contracts with a nonprofit organization, and that nonprofit's sole function is to build a consortium of companies that want to do business with the Army in a given subject area. So they have consortia for energy, they have consortia for ordnance, they have one for information systems. And what's really clever about it is that they've broken down most of the barriers for entry. So to be a member of the energy consortium, as an example, called SEED, it's a one-page application form you can submit online, a nominal fee. And once you're a member of the consortium, you end up in this very rapid, agile acquisition process where the government customer does a call for white papers, you get the white papers back, and then you filter down and ultimately select an awardee. And it's so agile that Army, for these consortia, they average 2 months or less from issuing the white paper to actually getting dollars on award.
That's remarkable.
And so it's a very quick way to do business, and it's been very successful. And so by merging the PlugFest concept with the consortium model, our thought is that we can first of all, provide a very interactive, collaborative way for the Air Force to go and acquire information systems, but also it gives us an opportunity to look at that consortium process and make it even shorter. That if we have vendors coming and showing literally what they can do, maybe we don't need such a long white paper time. Maybe we don't need a white paper at all. Maybe the actual proposal process can be diminished because vendors will have already shown us what they can do in real time.